You're never gonna guess what I'm gonna be for Halloween this year. It's a good one. It happened many years ago. It's from a movie, and it's purple. And it's not Barney. I don't think Barney had a movie. I'll reveal it on the show.
Steven, what are you being for Halloween this year? A crown?
No. Throwback, by the way, for those original RAWtalk listeners. I am being Jimmy Dugan from League of Their Own, Mr. Tom Hanks.
Again?
Yeah, it's kind of a leftover Halloween costume.
You've done that already. You can't
but now
do
we
that.
actually have Hannah in a little tiny Peaches costume. It's great.
Like she's wearing a peach?
No, the Rockford Peaches.
How long is she going to last before she's got to go back, be put to sleep?
I mean, we usually put her to bed around 7, but we can push her to 8. I think she'll be okay.
If she cries, Steven, let's role play this. If your daughter cries, what does Jimmy Dugan say?
There's no crying in baseball. I usually am better at that, but my voice obviously it's shot right now, so I apologize.
Yeah, he was up yelling at something all night, like was howling at the moon.
I was screaming at Hannah all night.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, welcome back to RAWtalk. This is episode 125. Vanessa's not here this week, and all she would do is yell at me anyway. So we've got a lot to get to this week. We're talking about Halloween costumes because I didn't talk about mine. My parents' anniversary is October 31st, which is today. We got to talk about the Kickstarter, which is launched. Not fully promoted. You're really one of the first promotional places where we're going to be talking about it in depth before I fully push out with emails and all that good stuff. Canon dropped a bunch of lenses. Nikon dropped an announcement of a lens. I want to talk about dating profiles and how stupid some of them are. And I know a lot of people who have been on dating websites have encountered this, and we're going to talk about that. You know what I'm going to be for Halloween, Steven?
The boom guys, Costco guys, yes.
No, I'm not going to be. That's too. We bring the boom.
I mean, you got the douchey
right
muscle
to
thing going
your
on.
face. What'd you say,
What?
Steven?
No, I didn't say
What?
that.
Did you really say that?
No,
What?
you misheard
It's
me.
a double chunk chocolate chip cookie. Don't they get, I mean, like, I know they're going on Fallon and they're making the rounds. And I know that Night Media, which is Mr. Beast's management company, has like signed them.
Makes sense.
Like, they got to get past the one thing. Can Hawk Tua get past the one thing?
I was just going to say the Haktua girl, man. I mean, she kind of did, but I feel like nobody knows her actual name.
Haley Welch.
You know, because you follow social media influencers. For the most part, if you say Haktua girl, people are like, oh yeah, I know her. If you say her actual name, they're like, who?
But she has the Talk Tua podcast, and I watched a clip on Instagram on it, and I'm like, yeah, I'm dumber now. I would never sit through that. She's like, I was given a Hawk Tua last night, and she had like Joey Swilla or Jojo Swilla, whatever. Jojo Siwa, you know Jojo Siwa?
Yeah.
Yeah, like she's just like, I've never looked a Hawk Tua in the face because, you know, I like women and then I'm gonna like, I'm like, really? This is what you guys are talking about? It's not even good.
It's the original call her daddy kind of mentality. She kind of shifted at this point, but that's kind of who she's going after, that demographic.
Except Call Her Daddy was actually, you know, done better back in the day. I mean, I have not watched a Call Her Daddy, so
I'm just saying those are the topics that they were usually talking about, stuff like that.
yes. And to just make it clear, the only reason that Call Her Daddy became successful is because she was on RAWtalk in 2015. That's just definitely the reason that she blew up so much. Just look for, what's her name?
Alex Cooper.
Alex Cooper, RAWtalk. And we had her on when she had 7,000 Instagram followers.
All because of us. Yep.
All because of us. I mean, it
Her
was my
fame,
advice.
her fortune, all us.
All that $120 million deal she just signed.
We should
again,
be getting a cut of that pie.
on top of $60 million. Oh, yeah, we should get that. No, we had zero to do with that. That's all her talking about her sexploits and being with Barstool, which I despise Barstool, by the way. I despise the Barstool mentality.
You don't like Dave Portnoy?
It's not a dislike for Dave Portnoy. I think Dave Portnoy is fantastic.
I love
him. With the business and everything that he's built. And the I don't give a fuck mentality, which is great, but I don't like the hanger-ons, the jock. It's basically like every nerd's nightmare to run into a a barstool bro, because they are barstool bros. All they do is drink, gamble, eat shitty food, sit on their asses, and talk shit.
Sounds like my Friday afternoon.
Yeah, barstool boys. Like, I just don't like dumb shit.
It's like listening to this podcast.
Yes, exactly. But I don't talk about gambling and all that other crap. So anyway, I didn't tell you what I'm going to be for Halloween, did I?
Oh, yeah.
That's because you said Costco guys, and then I went off because they were on Jimmy Kimmel, and I was going to say, not Jimmy Kimmel, they were on Jimmy Fallon, and I was going to be like, do they realize he's just making fun of them the whole time?
Yeah.
Because it's a meme. You don't have anything beyond that.
Ride that wave, man.
Yes, ride it to something else.
Well, hopefully they do.
I hope they do. Did you realize they do not blink in their videos?
No.
Neither of
Is
them
that a
blink.
thing?
Big AJ and Big Justice, neither of them actually blink when they talk. So the whole video is like, today I'm going to be eating a chicken. I just blinked shit. A chicken bake, and it's going to be great. Boom. How many boobs on the boom meter?
Do you think they do another take if they blink?
100%.
It's like, damn it, AJ, I said not to blink.
Well, no, AJ's the dad. Big Justice is the kid.
That's it.
And he brings the boom straight to you. And what's their sister's name? You probably know this.
Why would I know it?
Ashley?
Why would I know it?
I don't know. Don't read the comments because she's like 15 and people say the worst things.
I know what you're getting at.
I bring the boom straight to your face.
Let's just say a lot of comments sexualize her, and it's unfortunate because she is a minor.
My favorite part of most... Not my favorite part. Like, I don't comment on any of the stuff on Instagram at all because it's just a cesspool of...
No, you just send it to me.
I do. I send it to people privately the way that it should be done. So what am I going to be for Halloween, Steven? You got 2 guesses.
You're going to be...
No.
Is it someone with muscles?
Yes.
Does it allow you to show off those muscles?
I mean, it depends how tight the shirt is. I haven't tried it on yet.
Wrestler of some sort?
No wrestler.
Is it pop culture right now?
No. It was a movie character.
A movie character. Current movie?
No. 20 years
You
old.
got to give me something more than that.
20. They wore purple.
They wore purple. I don't know.
Dodgeball?
Globo Jim?
Globo Jim.
You're going to be Ben Stiller?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
It's right. I got the pants. I got the whole outfit. I'm not gonna wear the mustache thing. I'm not gonna wear the wig or anything. I'm just gonna put.
You got to. That's the whole point.
Yeah, but I look like him already. So,
dude, that costume is literally what you wear in real life.
It is. It is. But I'll probably wear my. I don't want to put the China made clothing on my body.
Oh,
so
God forbid.
I will have.
It's going to rip your skin off.
It might. There's little nanites in them.
I'm surprised you didn't go and buy some bougie ass outfit just for Halloween.
I never do Halloween, Steven. I'm not a Halloween person.
No, I'm saying you're always like, I got to buy the best of the best, even if it's a costume.
Whatever. I just ordered the damn costume and the pants. I'm going to wear my purple yoga pants underneath it. But what I think my purple yoga pants have, do they have pockets? Because I was like, well, I'm going somewhere. Where am I going to put my wallet and my phone? And then I was like, either I got to get take a fanny pack, or I got to figure out how to carry a wallet and a phone with me because I'm going to go to dinner like that.
So are you rocking the headband and all?
I guess I'll put the headband on. Yeah, but it's such China. I don't know if I want to put on a China headband.
What's it going to do to you?
It's going to give me like a rash.
No, it won't.
And I don't want the Wuhan.
I think you underestimate how many things are made in China.
Yeah, but remember when COVID was called Wuhan?
Yeah.
The beginning, the
coronavirus.
Wuhan virus. It was like Wuhan. Wait, how did we change the name so quickly? Anyway, I'm going to be that for Halloween, Globo Jim, and I should have worn it in Photo News Fix this week. But
yeah.
Maybe I'll wear it next week, and I'll bring the boom straight to your face.
So what's your plan for Halloween?
My friend Katie lives on a street that is like a famous street in Philly because she's bougie, and she lives on a street like that where there's street light. People have strung strings across the entire multiple blocks, and so people bring their kids to walk down that street near Rittenhouse.
Okay. Is it like a block party?
Well, not a block party. It's just a block, and people
Just a
come
nice
to that block
to walk down.
Yeah, people come bring their kids to that block every year because it's just like a nice block.
Because you won't find needles on that block.
No, not in Rittenhouse Square. No, you won't find needles, but you will get people trying to ask you for money. I wonder what kind of candy I can get.
Oh. Full-size bars?
Speaking of candy, my lights stay off at my house because I've never given out a piece of candy since I've lived in the city. One, I lived in a loft, so no one could come to my door when I lived on the 3rd floor. That's one. Two, when I moved to the other place, it was COVID, so no one came to the door. Three, I'm not going to be home, and I don't really give a shit about giving out diabetes.
I've never trick-or-treated in a city where there's apartment buildings. What do they do? Do people like stand outside and give out candy, or they just...
Yeah, people stand out front.
Okay.
People stand out in front of their houses. My neighbors stand out in front and hand out stuff. I actually, I went to the travel clinic the other day to get needles. I needed a couple more shots.
Not the needles we were just talking about.
No, I needed to get some more shots. But when I was at the travel clinic, they had Halloween Bowl out. And in the Halloween Bowl was, let me show you, Steven. Hold on. Look what they had in the, any guesses what they had in the Halloween Bowl?
Candy?
No, little packs of spermicidal lube and condoms
gack
for traveling, so you don't get AIDS. I took 2, one for a friend, one for me.
These girls are good to go. Super bad reference, anyone?
HOTTOTO. Yeah. So anyway, that was what I was like. Can I take 2? She's like, yeah, take as many as you would like, love. Well, that Anyway, so yeah, I went to the travel clinic and did that. So coming around to my parents, today would have been their anniversary. They got married in 1976.
So they got married on Halloween.
Yeah, they got married on Halloween because the band was booked on the 30th. Oh. So they had to switch to the 31st to do that. And Lil's birthday was the 30th. My brother's anniversary is the 29th.
Did anyone show up in Halloween costumes?
Yeah, they did wear costumes. I have all the photos from the wedding.
That's cool.
Which I should re-scan. I should re-photograph them. I should redo that with like the R5 and like the sharpest lens and get that all did. I've done that in the past, but yeah, no, people did wear costumes back in the day, and when they went to the wedding, and that's about that. So let's get into it. The Kickstarter is officially live.
Yes.
It's officially live. I put it live with no fanfare this morning on Thursday because that's what we do. We bring the boom.
I am surprised you didn't go into full on like Jared promotional mode.
No, not yet. It's a slow roll.
Yeah.
It's not meant to be a slow roll. It's just let it go live. Then I can start doing the boom and promoting when I need to. This is a piece of promotion right here. We're going to talk. I'm going to read you. This is the first place where I'm going to read you an excerpt from the book, an actual excerpt. I'm going to read you the foreword. Wait, did I read the foreword before? Did I read the foreword before?
I'm pretty sure you did, and I'm pretty sure I didn't want you to read it because it was too early, but you still read it. And,
shit. I'm going to read it again. Because it was written by Robert Costa. CBS News, Robert Costa, formerly of the Washington Post, and he wrote not Bob Costas. No, I ran into Bob Costas this year in Chicago, and I was like, my friend is Bob Costa. Yeah, and he's like,
cool.
He's like, I met him before. I was like, yeah. That was pretty cool. But no, the Kickstarter is live. I'll give you the link right now. If you go to bit.ly/frobook2, lowercase FROBOOK 2.
Great title.
That's just a bit.ly, dude. Oh no, you're talking about my title of the book?
I will forever make fun of that.
You can make fun of it all you want, Steven. Book 2
it's real.
Is the title.
Yep.
Yeah, that's because I'm cool like that. But you could go there. You can be one of the first people to back it, maybe. I mean, we have a bunch of backers already.
Yeah.
The crazy thing is, I put it live, and then I looked back, and I'm like, why is there one backer within 12 seconds?
I'm looking now. You have 13 backers already, and you just put it live, what, an hour ago?
No, 30 minutes ago.
What I'm saying is short amount of time.
Yeah, well, it needs. So I put a pledge goal of 35,000. My honest to goodness goal that I really, really, really would like to do is 80,000 to 100,000. That is where I'd like to be. It's going to cost me like 80 grand roughly to produce the book. That's where everything after starts to become a profit. You know, the Bernie book was less expensive. No, it wasn't less expensive. It was just a different time. Certain things are now 4 years later more expensive. It's stupid. Paper's more expensive. The production, other stuff is more expensive. Shipping is more expensive. So stuff is more expensive, but whatever. And I'm also doing, there's more pages, which makes it more expensive. And I stuck with the thick paper. Steven knows this. They sent me a sample with the wrong paper, and that book weighed like roughly 7 pounds. Then I was like, I don't like this paper. I don't like this paper at all.
And it's one of those things, if you didn't know any better, it seems fine by itself. But then the second you pick up the older Bernie book, the original, you're like, wow, this paper is quality compared to the sample book that you got. That's why you're paying for the extra premium paper.
They're just so much better. And watch the Kickstarter video. Steven did a really good job putting that together. I wrote an incredible script, by the way. Incredible.
It's basically copying the first script.
It followed the lead of the first script, and then I rewrote it. But no, the video is really good. My dad liked it, so that's a bonus for you. He said it was fantastic.
Well, it's a bonus for you. Anytime you get the stamp of approval from your father, you're like, it was a great video. I'm like, did your dad say something?
I already told you it was a good video before I sent it to him. It's just I'm so close to it. You know, I sent it to my buddy Greg. Greg said it was really good, and sent it to some other people early. And then, well, even Deb said it was really good, and she's an editor. So, you know, when she says it's good, you know it's good. If Deb says it's good.
I hate that they had to watch the Kickstarter version because we had a bunch of issues uploading that version of the video, and they compressed the crap out of it. Kickstarter only lets you, it's like a 640 by 360 video that they let you upload. And on top of that, it recompressed it. And I noticed there's some artifacting and whatever. It doesn't matter.
That's Kickstarter. Yeah. That's not like there's nothing
we can do. There's some glitches
do.
going on, but the YouTube version will be nicely polished.
The YouTube version's good. The best version is the version of the MP4 or the QuickTime video one. It's just like, yeah, that stuff looks great when you on my display when I go full screen.
Yeah.
Like when you look at the actual export from a program, it always looks so much better.
I mean, you should see what it looks like in Premiere before I even export it. Everything looks crystal clean, and then the second you start compressing everything over and over again, by the time everything hits YouTube, it looks significantly worse than how it started, because at that point it's compressed twice.
Oh, well.
It is what it is.
Now, before I get into the reward levels, let me read the foreword from Robert Costa, which I probably did already, and you guys may have heard it, but now it's official because it's here. This is in Robert Costa's words. Let me read what the bottom says, because it says, Robert Costa is a journalist and author based in Washington, D.C. He currently serves as the chief election and campaign correspondent, so he's really busy right now, of CBS News. Previously, he was a longtime reporter at the Washington Post, WAPO, moderator and managing editor of Washington Week on PBS, and a political analyst on NBC News and MSNBC. He also co-wrote Peril in 2021 with Bob Woodward, which was a #1 New York Times bestseller. My book's going to be a #1 New York Times bestseller too. In fact, it is right now. It's a #1 bookseller. All right, here we go. This is not my words. These are Robert Costa's words. Because I couldn't figure out who to write this, right? And anyway, I wanted an artist, and then I was like, you know what? This guy, he's an actual writer.
Yeah, I'm just surprised you didn't get a musician.
Well, I asked a musician who ignored me at the time, and I asked another musician, and they wrote something for the book, which is fine because it's in the book.
Okay.
But I just was like, it comes back to, I met Robert when he was in high school, and I was just out of high school. And we've been on this music journey together for a long time, and he's watched the 22 years that I talk about. No one had seen it as much as he did, which is crazy. He was a kid. He was trying to live the Almost Famous life, which he was, getting in with Maroon 5 and John Mayer and all these people back in the day. And he was destined to be something.
Oh, we just got another backer. 14 backers.
Stop looking, Steven.
It's right in front of me.
Well, turn it off. Robert says turn it off. Here we go. Robert Costa's words. People often say they have big dreams. Jared Polin, however, has always seen them. By the way, I don't ever tell people that I have dreams. For over 2 decades, I've been honored to witness the development of a development of one of the great photographers of our time. I've seen him grow from being
the greatest. Get it right.
No, one of the is always better. I've seen him grow from being a skinny kid with big dreams to being a skilled and still skinny craftsman, though with bigger muscles. I just added that part. On every project, he brings the same fiery, independent spirit I first saw long ago as he roamed grungy concert venues in Philadelphia. It's a sort of magic, this genuine curiosity about people and the world. He doesn't just take assignments. Instead, he takes opportunities to see dreams unfold before him, be they musical or political, and capture them. This book is a compendium. Wow, that's a word I could have never come up with. A compendium of his excellence, and with Jared, it's always the work that tells the true story. While he has become a high-profile character with his fro and wit and shoots, at his core, he is the man behind the lens, helping all of us better our world by seeing it from his perspective. Paging through this collection, it's stunning to see the breadth of his work. So many topics, shows, issues, and people. The running thread is that Jared seems to have been everywhere. Backstage here, backstage there, in the dressing rooms, the waiting rooms, the loading dock, on the stages. Jared has been there because people trust him. They trust him to see them for who they really are, beyond the headlines and the album covers. If he's there, there's an immediate sense of trust and that he's there for you, not him. I know because he shot a seminal moment in my own life, the 2004 Pennsbury High School prom, where John Mayer surprised my class with a short acoustic set. Looking back at those images today, it's so evident that Jared caught both the innocence and electricity of that special night. Did I do a good job at that night, Stephen? The answer to that is not really.
We were just talking about it yesterday. I was like, the photos are pretty shitty, but it's the time.
I mean, shit, it was 2004. I was shooting my D2H. I had to use a flash. I didn't have the widest of lenses. I didn't have the biggest bag of glass just yet. And not the greatest photos in the world.
But there's a particular aesthetic to it. I don't know. It just kind of brings you back in that moment. Like you can tell it's an early 2000s digital type of image. And it's John Mayer being young on stage. It's not the best technical photograph, but I don't know. It's just something about it. I like it.
Yeah, it's the photo that, and I'll finish this in just a second. The photo that I included in the book is John Mayer looking, smiling, holding the guitar with one hand, and this person's face, you see the profile, well, the side of their face, that's Robert Costa. And that's why I chose that book for this photo for the forward, because it included Robert Costa. So that's the only prom I've ever been to, by the way.
What? Really?
Yeah, I never went to the prom, Stephen. Have you seen me?
You didn't even just go without a date? Like
no,
with friends?
I didn't go to anything in school. I didn't have friends. I had 2 friends. They didn't go.
It all makes sense.
Well, I was like Globo Jim in high school. No, I wasn't. Because he was fat in high school.
That sucks, man. That's a shame.
Is it, though?
Yes. Proms are some of the best times of my life.
Oh, were they, Stephen? Why? What happened at the proms?
It's a big party with all your friends.
Yeah, you have a group of 30 friends that you still hang out with today that are the same people.
Yeah.
I never had that group. I just never did.
Yeah.
I didn't have that group of people. I still don't have that group of people where I've got 30 people that I could go hang out with in one fell swoop. That's what you guys do. I never fit in like that.
Wonder why.
Continuing on, a couple more paragraphs. For Jared, it was one of many such nights in that period. He'd often only be allowed to shoot 3 songs at the beginning of a concert, crouching beneath the stage and make the most of it. There is urgency in those photographs that brings you right back to these shows, many of them taking place in a time before social media took over, before we all became amateur photographers with our phones. Jared was the one in the pit trying to get as many photos as possible before being ushered out. When you see these images, you might think this is unlike anything I've seen before. Well, you'd be right. Jared always went left when others went right. When people were told not to go backstage, he'd find a way to go there. When he was told no access, he found a way in. All access, all hearts, all dreams. And that's the forward.
I mean, I do 100% agree on that last comment where he mentions, you will find a way to get backstage, to get on stage, whatever it may be. I've seen you do it many times. You don't take no for an answer.
And that's why I didn't have a prom date,
or
Steven.
bad thing, but yeah, exactly.
That's why I didn't have a prom date. I was like, what do you mean no? I do not accept this answer. Bow down. Bow down. No. No, I just never, I had friends that were girls, but I never had girlfriends. And I was like stuck on AOL at that age. I was just like always on AOL for no particular reason, living a virtual life. We didn't have websites, Steven. We had AOL. That was it. AOL. I didn't know
websites.
No, Steven. So let me explain to you early.
You act like I didn't grow up when there was dial-up internet.
Yeah, you may have, but AOL at the beginning, I thought was the internet. AOL was just the wrapper. I never went to a www website. I only clicked on the communities inside of AOL. Oh, wow. There was sports, news, art, music. That was it. That was curated. I thought that was the internet.
See, I had Prodigy. So when we would sign on, I would have just my desktop and I would have a web browser, which at the time was Internet Explorer, I think. But yeah, I would always go to an actual dedicated website because I didn't have that portal of America Online, that splash page.
We had chat rooms. I thought that was the internet, was chat rooms. Instant messages. I thought that was that. But I guess it was training me for where I sit today, Steven.
Yeah.
Right here in my $1,200 chair of Herman Miller. It's gone up in price. I paid less for that. They actually gave us one of these.
I saw it went up like almost double the price.
I know. Where is that?
My buddy was asking about chairs the other day, and I'm like, check out Herman Miller. They got great chairs. I'm sitting on the, what is it, the Embody?
Embody.
Yeah, it's a great chair. It was like $1,200. And now it's close to $2,000, I think.
Is it really?
Yeah.
It depends on, I guess, the style and the color and the base.
Of course.
But the Herman Miller Embody chair, it has like a 12+ year warranty. It still feels the same today as it did, 8 years ago when I got it.
It's almost $2,300. I'm looking at it right now. Wow.
Where? On Amazon?
On Herman Miller. Go to Herman Miller Embody chair. I'm sure, like you said, it's depending on what you select, but base model is $2,275. Over 100% increase.
I'm looking on Amazon. It's $1,800 for that color. You can get another color currently unavailable.
Yeah, just Google Herman Miller Embody.
None of these colors are. Oh, here's an $1,100 one, Steven. Herman Miller Embody office chair, fully adjustable arms and carpet casters, charcoal rhythm. That's fine. It's a black one with charcoal. That's actually nice. It's $1,199.
Where's that at?
On Amazon.
How is that only $1,100?
Because it has different materials. Like that, it's one of them that's on Amazon. There's most of them are currently unavailable in all those colors, but the charcoal black. It says it right here, $1,199. You want me to send you an affiliate link? Do you want an affiliate link to send to your friend? Hold on, let me get the link. I'm going to send you the link.
Yeah, now I want to see it. Oh, that's because it's the used one. Looks like the new one is $1,800 for their base model, and then used is $1,200 for a chair. Wow.
So really, the chair, you could still have it for $1,200. Make sure you get it from Herman Miller. Do not buy the knockoffs. It's like buying a Shark vacuum. Steven knows all about the Shark products.
Yeah.
Anyway, the Herman Miller chair is freaking fantastic. So back to the Kickstarter. I really appreciate Robert Costa being able to take his time during a busy election season to write a forward, and I think he nailed it. I think he hit it. He hit it perfectly with when others go right or wherever, Jared goes left. And I find a way to get it done and have the respect and trust of the artist that I end up photographing. And that's really appreciated that he was able to see that. So the Kickstarter is officially live. You can go to bit.ly/FroBook2 to do that. I can go over the rewards real quick. There's the $80 early bird special. That gets you a book 2 plus ship. You have to pay for shipping as well.
Wait, it gets you 2 books?
No. Shut up, Steven. So no, book 2. But what it does come with the early bird special are 2 packs of 4x6 randomly placed photographic prints that are on thicker cardstock. And inside those packs might be some random signed or one of ones or limited edition prints or an all access pass, aka a golden ticket.
Ooh.
And there's going to be a note on it where you have to call me or set up a Zoom call. You have to set up a Zoom call because I get to film it. And then I will tell you what the golden ticket or sort of the all access pass gets you when we get on that FaceTime or Zoom call. That's pretty cool, right?
Very cool. I know we toyed around with the idea of doing like a bookmark like you did with Bernie, but having like a concert ticket.
Oh, there will be a bookmark. I have to make it and order it.
Like do like a concert ticket like we talked about or something different?
I mean, what I can do is, last time I made an actual bookmark, but what I can do is I can make a 4x6, different sizes. I think I use it. What do I use? What is that place called? Print something. I have to remember what place I used, but it was like a conglomerate of all these printers around the country. I used to use them 20 years ago when I got my first business cards made for $35 and it was great. But I can design it and just include it. It could be a 4x6 postcard. It could be any shaped anything that just looks like a all access pass.
No, I'm talking about the bookmark itself.
Well, yeah, I'm saying a 4x6 book. It could be a 4x6 bookmark. It doesn't matter the size.
If it was
of the
a ticket
bookmark.
stub, it actually is like the shape of a bookmark anyway. So I think that makes sense.
Well,
And it's obviously a
bookmarks
book
are
about
more-
concert photography.
Maybe I'll think about it. I have to design it, whatever AI tells me. Let me make a note. Bookmark.
Speaking of AI, we made that whole design for the foil pack for the random 4x6 prints. What did you prompt the AI?
I said, I don't have it. You want me to actually pull it up? Let me pull it up.
I'm just curious.
All right. So I went to Chat GPT and I said, generic graphic for a pack of baseball cards in a silver wrapping that says 3 random 4x6 prints per pack. And the first one that it came up with was spot on.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like a chocolate, a pack of chocolate, like a single wrap chocolate, but it said baseball, 3 random 4x6 prints per pack. So that was great. But then I wrote, here is the graphic of the baseball. It says here's the graphic. And then I was like, replace the word baseball with Frono's photo. And so it did. And it came up with that font. But what I ended up, and by the third one, I didn't like what it came up with. But I took the two of them and I took the Frono's photo part of it and I popped that over where it said baseball, and there you have the foil wrapped pack that it came up with in a matter of seconds.
And it missed the P of photo, so it's Frono's Hoto.
Yeah, it doesn't get that stuff exactly perfect, but just please understand that when you get this in the mail, or when you get your backer supporter thing, it will not be an actual pack, but it will be in this wax paper envelope thing is that I have for 4x6 prints. That's what it will be in. So you'll still get to, blindly open a pack and see what's in it. But if we do hit specific stretch goals, like we hit our goal of 35, which we better hit. If we don't hit that, I'm in trouble. If we hit 75 or 80, or if we hit over 100, there might be extra all access passes that go out. So we'll know how much the Kickstarter raises by the time the books come in, which is next year. Probably around February is when the books will be coming in. I think they're getting printed this month in November. Obviously, I'm pre-printing them and guessing, but it would be nice to know exactly how many to order. And then it has to get bound and it has to get shipped, and that gets on a boat, and that boat takes 3 to 4 weeks, and then it has to get to me, and then I got to ship them.
And then we got to record the entire audio commentary.
Yeah, we do have to do the audio commentary. We will do that to go along with it. fronosphoto.com/book2 also has the audio link. Actually, the Kickstarter has the link to the audiobook. So not the audiobook, but to the book 2 soundtrack as well. There's a link in the Kickstarter that you can click that will launch that in Spotify. But Kickstarter rewards. You've got the $80, which is the cost of the book, early bird special. There's 250 of those available. They come with 2 packs of cards. So normally it comes with 1, but as an early bird special, an extra $25 value, you get 2 packs of those 4x6 photographs. The other early bird special that's available is the $200 version, which is the the book, the slipcase, and a limited edition 13 by 9 random print from the book, signed by me and numbered and all that good stuff. So you'll be getting one of those, and the early bird gets you 2 cards, 2 packs instead of just 1.
And the 4x6 prints, the cards that we're calling them, they're going to be like limited edition ones mixed in, some signed ones here and there. It's going to be a mix of everything, right? Not just the prints.
That is correct. You never know what you're going to get. It's like a pack of cards.
Which one is going to be the Charizard card, the best card?
I don't know, man. I'm thinking maybe just me.
Is it going to be a one-of-one signed Jared Polin print of yourself?
Yeah, probably. Maybe a one-of-one signed print by me is like the ultimate card.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to put together a list of what people are looking for, the chase cards, and what there is. Because there's gonna be obviously base cards, but there's gonna be those special cards.
Ooh.
Maybe I'll get some of the artists to sign them. Maybe their own photographs.
That would be really cool if you did do that.
Well, you know who's coming to town?
Modest.
Modest is coming back in early November, so I will probably print a couple out and have him sign a couple, maybe, if he'll do that, and call it and include those in the book.
Cool.
Or in some of the random packages. So that's you've got that. There's an option for just the slipcase and the book. There's an option for 8x10 portfolio, a 17 by 22 portfolio. They get pretty expensive, but just think a 17 by 22 portfolio. I think there's 2 versions. There's a 20 print one and a 40 print portfolio. That is a 40 print portfolio from the book, signed by me, 17 by 22 inches in a portfolio book. That's pretty good. The price isn't that bad. When I think what am I charging? $2,000 for that one, Steven?
Yeah.
That's not bad. When you break it down and you divide it, that's like $50 a print. That's not bad. Might be worth something. You know, it's art. It's limited edition.
What about spend a day with Jared in Philadelphia? I see that's a reward.
Hey, might as well put it there,
How
Steven.
much is that one?
10 G's. Hey, people ask. It won't sell, but I put it there. I put 3 of them there. So my pitch is simple, guys. If you want a really good coffee table book, there's a couple of pitches here. One, it's a great book. It's going to be an awesome work of art, printed extremely well. You'll be hard pressed to find other high quality books like this out there, and so it's a great piece to have. I will sign every book. Not that that means anything, but I will sign every book. But other than that, if you found value in what we've done over the years and you want to support something, this is another way that you can support it on top of the presets. This is a way to do it. This is a physical product. I don't stand to make a lot of money on a physical product like this. I just don't. And if I sell 1,000 books at $80, I break even. And then I have 1,000 more to sell because I'm ordering 2,000. So that's where you can make profit. But you know, if I sell 500-600 books, I'm still underwater. I'm still footing the bill for the rest of it. And it is what it is. It's also a really good memento that I will have for the future. Yeah. That is a great leave behind. It's a great business card, expensive business card, but a great business card.
The good thing about this book, the book that I've always wanted you to make, is that you could continue selling this forever and ever. You know, it's not like the Bernie book where it's kind of, you got a year or two and then it's kind of dead in the water at that point. This one will continue to sell time and time again. And because you are a person that cares so much about quality, like you said, this is an extremely high quality book. And I can attest to that because the Bernie book, I mean, you just open it up and it just feels like a high end quality book. And it's massive. Yeah. That's the other thing.
It would be very difficult for a publisher to approve unless you're like Taschen. You know, Taschen does the higher end books, but even then, it's tough for the photographer or the artist to actually make money because the what are they called? Publisher are the ones that foot the bill and then have to recoup all of the money before. It's like a record deal. They have to recoup all the money before they give you an advance, and then let's say they have $100,000 in the budget and it's $80,000 to produce the physical book. They'll give you like a $20,000 advance to write it, to produce it, to hire an editor, to get a copywriter. And from your $20,000 advance, you have to foot the bill to hire those people. So then what happens is you got your 20 grand. Now they have to sell the book. And if they don't recoup, you get $0 until they fully recoup expenses. So that's the full $100,000. You got to sell $100,000 worth of books before you ever start making anything else. And that anything else might be like 20% of the sale price. So if it's a $100 book, you're getting $20 in the future once it's fully recouped. And in the other book world where it's just shitty paperback books where they sell them for like $18, $20, $24, $25, you're looking at $2.50 per book to the writer, right? You're not making that much money in the long run. So
do you plan on eventually putting this book up on, something like Amazon once the Kickstarter is fully funded?
I thought about doing the Amazon thing in the past. It's just impossible.
What do they take? I'm curious.
Like 40%, 30%, 40% now.
How much?
The costs and fees. Then there's you ship it there. Then they have to warehouse it. So every month you're paying a fee for them to warehouse it. Then there's the shipping. Like you could do the shipping. Like you want them to do the shipping so people can have it done with Prime shipping and have it the next day. The problem is they rarely ship it, pack it properly. So if someone complains that the book is dented or broken or whatever, you're out the money of that book.
Wow.
Because they'll send another one or give them a refund. So it basically costs you money to do Amazon. I just don't know how you do it. I just don't know. I mean, I would like to do it, but I don't think people are randomly finding my book and just buying it unless they know who I am.
Yeah, I agree.
Because that's the same thing. It's like I don't just randomly go on on Amazon to buy photo books. I mean, actually, I do from time to time. I click on one and then it's like, oh, we recommend this, and I'm like, I'll try it because I have a collection of books. So the moral of the story: you can go to bit.ly/frobook2 to back this, and I would really appreciate if you did that. Obviously, a lot of hard work went into making it, but if you want to support what we do and continue to do, this is one way you could do it, and we appreciate it.
I mean, is it, 2 years in the making for you?
Technically, it goes back to like 2022 when she and I started to do it. But there was like a year period where it just sat and didn't get anywhere because my brain didn't have the idea for how to physically make it until I laid everything out on the floor. Yeah. And then that was when it started to come together properly. I took control and took the reins and made it happen.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm glad it's finally live. It is. It's a solid book.
Let's move on to Canon, make some drops here. Canon dropped 4 new lenses, or if you're Canon rumors who says 5, they said 5. I'm like, wait, how do you get to 5? I was like, oh, you're counting the 70-200 as 2. Yeah, 24-1.4, 50-1.4, 70-200 black and white, and the 7.8 millimeter dual fisheye lens for spatial compute.
I can't see anybody buying that. I really can't see anyone. I mean, that's meant for the lower end creator. Who's doing that?
I think 12 people will buy that lens.
Yeah.
But you know what though? I think that Canon has a different play here. Because if you notice the latest Apple videos, the new one for the Apple Mini, whatever they call it, the mini computer, in that video, there is a Canon camera sitting on the desk in the promotional video. So part of it is just probably being involved with Apple.
Just branding.
And being the camera that's not Nikon, it's not Sony, it's not someone else, it's not Leica, it's Canon sitting on the desk.
It's funny too. Just yesterday, I was telling you, we were messing with the A9 III, and I was saying how I feel like Canon is more like the Mac of the photo world. It just works. You don't have to mess with too many settings, but there's also minimal settings, which is frustrating. And I feel like Sony is more of the PC where you can really fully customize that camera and shoot it any way you want.
Yeah, you know what PC stands for? Piece of crap. I'm just kidding.
I mean, A9 III is a great camera. But yeah. I've always felt like that, and it's kind of ironic now that Canon is working directly with Apple.
Hey, do you know what I just thought? Random thought, Steven?
What?
One of what the golden ticket might get you? I think it might get you a 2-year Subaru lease.
You were trying so hard this whole episode to incorporate Subaru, weren't you?
No, I just forgot that we haven't talked about it, so I figured I would come up with something right now. To a 2-year Subaru lease, that's got to be like $12, right?
Did you see the thing I sent you yesterday where the guy's guessing based on the person which type of Subaru they drive?
Oh
and
my God.
If you can only guess what type of person was shown on the screen, it kind of makes sense.
They all look like, what is with the slicked pullback hair, super tight? Is that like lesbian chic or something?
I don't know.
I don't know. Some of those women, I'm like, yeah, they're hot. And then they're like, don't like me.
But it's funny, like the Subaru cars that he was matching up, I'm like, that makes sense.
Subaru Impreza.
He's right.
RX or whatever. That is funny. So, Canon dropped these lenses. I got the 70-200 2.8 already in white.
The day it was announced.
I got it the day it was coming out. And I will tell you that lens is gorgeous. Like I zoomed it and the first sound I made was, it was just so perfect. Cause I was like, because you could just go through the zoom range with my thumb. Literally just my thumb. You couldn't do that with the old one. You literally had to lock on and twist and physically move it.
That was our biggest gripe with the compact original RF 7200 was that you almost had to twist your wrist to go from 70 to 200. Way too big of a throw. Besides that, the lens was great.
Well, yeah, and it caused you to miss certain shots because
of that.
Because you have to rearrange how your hand grips a camera. Your lines are off.
And don't even think about using it for video and doing some quick racks or anything like that because
smooth racks because it's going to be jiggly.
Exactly. You're literally moving the entire camera when you're trying to twist.
So remember when they came out with that 6 years ago? It's like they always try to justify something like, oh no, this is better. Here's why this is better. And then of course they have to course correct it later on.
Our initial question was, how is this fully weather sealed if it's an external zooming lens, unlike the EF 70-200? And they're like, well, it's weather sealed enough, it's more compact. And we're like, well, it can't be as weather sealed as the original one that is internal zooming.
No.
You can't tell me that.
No. And this one is just beautiful. I went with the one in white. White power! Steven probably wants the one in black. Black power! Black Panthers. Black Panthers.
I just think the black one looks sexy, and I know it's more for the videographers, and you want to be stealth on set, so you want to have a black lens that you kind of fade into the background. But I just think it looks badass. I've always liked how Nikon does all black lenses. I think it looks cool just from an aesthetic standpoint. But you also have the benefit with the white lenses, not just looking like a pro with a white lens, because Canon has always had white as their professional telephoto lenses, but also the fact that it has that white coating and it should dissipate heat better and not end up warping components on those brutally hot extreme days.
That's what they say. I don't know. I've never taken a thermometer to a black lens or a white lens, to get the reading of the housing. I think the white is beautiful on this one just because it just screams professional to me, like a white lens. You always knew that Canon white lens was the dream. But beyond that, the quality of the lens is superb. I took it across the street to photograph kids on the Canon R1, and I just went out there and I was like, this is amazing. The zoom range, so smooth, so quick to go from 70 to 200. The autofocus is like, you never see it even moving because it's that lightning fast on the R1. And the quality and sharpness of the images were just fantastic when I got them back into the computer. It is, and I called a bunch of friends when it got announced or texted, and I'm like, you're a pro, buy this, pre-order it right now, no questions asked. You want it because the 70 to 200 that you've been working with, one guy who shoots football, he's like, yeah, the problem is you have two cameras, right? You have a 400 2.8 with one camera, you have the other camera around your neck, and that has a 70 to 200 on it, and when you lift it just to shoot, you can't move anything easily. So it makes it harder to get the shot. So if you want to go to 70 to 200, now you could literally just get that one finger on it and have it move, and it's great. And that's not to downplay that the old 70-200 by any stretch of the imagination is bad. That is still a fantastic lens. It's also, what is it, $2,300?
It's $2,500 right now on sale, and I assume it might even come down even further, but it will stay in the lineup, they said. So you'll have this compact version of the RF 70-200 for $2,500, and then this new internal zooming for $3,000, which is a lot of money. It's more than the Nikon and Sony sells for.
It's more than any 70-200 has been.
$2,800 roughly. So
which is still expensive.
It's still expensive. But also when we got briefed for this lens, they did make a big point to say that it is much sharper than the EF version, the version 3.
Did you see my comment during that call?
Well, you kept saying, why are you comparing it to the older lens? I kind of understand why they started it that way, because I think a lot of people didn't update to the compact version because they didn't like not having that, that quick throw. But they did make a big point that it's much sharper. However, that being said, based on the MTF charts, it looks to be pretty much the same. Obviously, it's a little better than the original compact version. So in terms of sharpness, if you have the original version, unless you want that quick throw or want a TC on it, you really don't need to upgrade.
And I'm still anti-TC. Like 98 to 260 or whatever the 1.4 is. It's just like you're now making it a f4 lens for no particular reason, just to get no. I'm just going with no on that.
I mean, I'm with you on that. I do understand why people use it if they want to get to 2 to 400 and use a 2x converter. I get it, but I personally wouldn't use it. Now, the thing I don't like about these new set of lenses is, again, Canon is using this terminology of hybrid lenses, where I think a lot of people are confused at that. Like, why is it called hybrid? Like, is it more for video? I know it's hybrid meaning photo and video, but with Sony, they just market it as, here's our new lens. It's great for video, great for photo, great for everything. It's just a lens, and it has everything built in. Canon is specifically calling it a hybrid lens, which I think could confuse a new user.
You just called it's our 70-200.
That's what I mean.
It's great for photos and great for video.
Great for anything you want to shoot on your camera, whether that's video or photo. You shouldn't have to call it out as a hybrid lens.
No, it should just be what it is.
Now in the future, when they release a non-hybrid lens, are you now telling me that's not good for video?
Yeah. It's crazy. So speaking of lenses that are hybrid but don't seem to be hybrid, the development announcement of the new 28 to 135 PZ f4 Nikkor lens, that is really predominantly 90% a video lens. You could use it for stills, but it's really meant for video. Now, if you have
100% a video lens, yeah.
And if you haven't seen this photo yet, just go look for it. You can find it. I put it in the last photo news fix. It looks just like the 10-year-old Sony 28 to 135 f4 that we've had for 10 years.
I used to use that for everything we shot with Sony. I think the entire A7 III real world review was shot with that 28 to 135 PZ, and I loved it.
Yeah, so I would assume that Nikon's is going to be a hell of a lot sharper 10 years newer. Someone took offense to me saying that they copied it. It looks like they literally copied the lens.
I mean, if you look at it, the profile view of it, it almost looks like the exact same lens, same size, same everything. Now, I don't think they did. I'm sure they just drew inspiration from the 28 to 135 Sony.
Sure. And that's just how it looks optically.
I do like the look of it. I think it looks pretty sexy. I think the gold ring on the back looks pretty cool. I'm curious, could you swap that out with a red ring for, a red branded Nikon camera in the future?
Yeah, we'll see what they do with the video aspect of it there.
And just speaking of red, I do think this is the beginning of the red revolution. I think this is Nikon starting to say, hey, we're getting serious into cinema and starting to gear up for the future Nikon cameras that will eventually have red technology built into them.
You know what I heard about red?
What?
Why they didn't sell? They tried to sell for a long time to a bunch of different people. Bunch of different companies that were out there. Nobody wanted them. Nobody wanted them because they didn't come with technology. They came with patents, right? They came with just being patent trolls trying to sue people. And so it just didn't make sense. These other companies weighed the pros and cons and if there was a real need or market value add to buying them. And they chose not to.
How did they not come with technology? They have their own red cameras that are proprietary.
But they're the cameras, that's the camera, but not like the sensor tech. And so it's just you were buying a company for not very much, just for the branding, which I think was pretty seems smart for Nikon to do. Now we'll see if they can turn something around with it.
Yeah.
But when I bring up that person that was saying something to me, they're like, basically I say, why you rip on Nikon for copying Sony, but you don't rip on Canon for copying Sony with their 70-200 2.8?
Oh.
And I'm like, no, how is it copying? When Sony wasn't even a glimmer in their daddy's ball sack when Canon was coming out with a 70-200 internal zooming lens. They've had them for 20 plus years.
Yeah, my argument would almost be the opposite, that Sony would be copying Canon and Nikon
with
their
lenses.
Original 70-200s.
Yeah. So it's just like, it's not even close to the same. Like, you just hate Nikon. I was like, well, you're just butthurt because your camera doesn't work right.
Speaking of Sony, though, I will say I think their 70-200 reigns supreme. I mean, I think they have everything optically perfect in that lens in terms of ergonomics, button layout, customization, the quality of it, the weight. I mean, everything. That lens is
Sony
a perfect
lens is perfect.
Paired with their 24-70 version too. Great lens.
No, they've done a great job with their second generations of lenses. Yeah. And Canon, even though this one is slightly heavier than the Sony by not much, it's the same size, but it has a larger filter at 82 millimeters. It's just a gorgeous lens. If you're a professional and you use the 70-200 RF currently, and you know exactly what I'm talking about, so I don't need to go into it, sell it, trade it, get it to someone else who's younger, who can, save some money by getting your 70-200, trade it in, buy this one instantly for $3,000, sell yours for, I don't care, $1,800 to $2,000. You could get $1,800 to $2,000, and now you just upgraded for $1,000. Seriously, that's the way I look at it.
Now, another thing I wanted to bring up that I found interesting with these set of so-called hybrid lenses is that they're all meant to be interchangeable in terms of like putting them on a gimbal or slapping in a follow focus, something like that. You can quickly swap them out because they are essentially the same housing. For example, like the 35, the 24, the 50 1.4s, they're all about the same weight roughly. I think they're off by like 1/10 of a pound, and they're all the same exact housing and size. And same with the 70-200, it's the exact literal same housing and casing of the 24 to 105 2.8. So between those two, you have the range of 24 to 200 at 2.8. I mean, that's pretty solid. That's a nice offering. My question after getting briefed, though, is that they brought up a point saying that the new RF version of the 70-200 is capable of keeping up with 40 frames per second of the R1, the R6 II, R8. Is that saying that the original RF couldn't keep up at 40 frames a second? Because that was developed before those cameras were made.
No, I mean, I'd have to test it. I don't think so.
I'm just curious, why bring that point up if your lens always could keep up at 40 frames per second? And then the other thing is Sony's lenses have always been incredibly quiet. You can never hear them focusing. How is the new 70-200? Is it like that? It has dual nano USM motors, so they're fastest motors.
I don't hear anything. I didn't hear anything.
I assume you can't if it's, again, a hybrid lens built for video too. But that's one thing that I've always found annoying with Canon lenses is they're very loud for video work.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything when I shot it.
So hopefully moving forward, everything will be quiet. Good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy. I'm really happy with what that lens is giving me. Now, will I use a 70-200 that often? I still prefer using an 85-1.2, right?
Same.
But the 70-200 is just a dream lens in terms of feel and zoom and smoothness. Beautiful. You're a pro. Go get it. Trade in that lens. Get it to someone else who needs that original one, and then move on from there. So the last thing I want to bring up here quickly, Stephen, is that dating profile thing. As someone who's single, not you, me, I can be on a dating app from time to time, and the most frustrating thing is when you swipe on something and the picture comes up and there's 5 women in the photo.
Which one is it?
You know which one it is. And my friend Taylor, she yelled at me for posting about this. She's like, that's not nice. I'm like, well, first off, if you're going to post it, like, clearly you know which girl is in the image, but then, like, you want me to swipe to find out? And so then you swipe to the next photo because you're like, well, I want to see which girl it was. It's like a game now. And then you swipe, and now there's a photo of 2 people. And you're like, okay, so now there's 2 people. There's a hot one and a not so hot one. And then you go one more and you're like, oh, finally you get the picture of you. And you're like, yeah, no, I'm not going to click on this because you lied.
Clickbait.
You tried to hide yourself. You tried to hide yourself behind your hottie friends.
I want to know, what do your dating photos look like?
I'll show you my dating photos, Stephen. I'll pull them up right now. I will get my phone out and show you. But I also want to say that women have told me that it's the same with photos of men.
Oh, I bet.
That a bunch of dudes, some of them even put up photos with their exes, which makes no sense. Like, why would you put it up with your ex?
But would the person looking know that?
Well,
unless
but
they're kissing or something.
They're kissing or holding
weird.
each other.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's find a dating app here. Let's see which photos I have.
What's your main photo?
Well, it depends. I kind of like this one as my main photo, Steven.
Oh, let me see. Okay. All right. That's actually, I wouldn't think you would choose. I was imagining like a gym photo or something. No. You working out.
Girls are dicks when it comes to gyms, man. Vanessa Joy came down and took a bunch of portraits of me for dating profile in the past.
All right. These are actually normal photos of you.
Yeah.
They look good.
I mean, that one you might not like, but...
there it is. The cutoff sleeves. That's what I was looking for.
But me holding a big lens walking, like, no, it's just like, this is who I am, Steven. It's just like, I'm not going to play a game like these other people play games with dating apps by not showing who they actually are. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And so... like, why wouldn't you put a modern picture up? You know, the worst is when you see a picture and you're like, clearly it's 18 years old.
Well, no, the worst is when you think they look like that and then you see them in real life and go on an actual date and they don't look like that. That was a photo from 10 years ago.
one of the very beginning of Tinder, like we're talking over 10 plus, probably over 15 years ago. The first time maybe it was a match, maybe it was before Tinder existed. I went on a date with a girl in New Hope. I met her in New Hope for dinner, and her photo, she had like bikini photos and all of that. You show up, she has 3 kids. 3 kids later, she didn't look like that. I was like, are you kidding me? Like, that was the beginning of your lying.
False advertisement.
Right. How do you expect us as like, why wouldn't I be upset that you don't look like a photo that you posted that was 10 years ago and that now you have 3 kids, you're not even close to that photo?
That reels you in, the attraction reels you in, and then hopefully the personality matches.
You're trying to save me from saying that I'm a vapid person just looking at looks. First thing I see are looks. What am I looking for? I'm looking for someone that matches my certain aspect of how I like to live. And see, that's another thing is like, I don't mesh with certain people. Like, I like to work out. I like to be physical. I like to go do things. And so to find someone who also likes that and is capable of doing that is what I look for.
Of course.
So it's just like, it's all right to say that you don't like a specific thing, but people get offended like you're supposed to pretend you like something that you don't actually like. You don't. You don't have to. That's what I have to say about that. Yeah. Steven hasn't been on a dating app for like 20 years anyway.
It's been quite some time.
It's been
over 10 years probably at this point, yeah.
Been a while. I was frequent on those bad boys. Man, were my 30s busy on Tinder. When Tinder was new.
What?
No. I would match with a lot of guys. Have you seen my ass?
Oh, I have.
They'd be like, dude, if I posted on Grindr right meow, just my ass, my inbox would fill. wait, not just my inbox, but my outbox too, Steven. Oh, ding.
Oh, that was a good one.
Wait, why'd I yell that right there? Because I like the 70 to 200. So that's it. I hate dating apps. My way now is I like to meet people in person, which is awkward at times because you're like, you don't want to offend someone my thing is sometimes girls are like, that's creepy. I'm like, is it creepy if you then like the person? No, because you've seen it a million times. Girls are like, how dare you ask me if I'd like to grab coffee. I was like, really? That offends you? Well, then, the vapid guy that over there that looks like a bro from Barstool asks you and you're like, oh, sure. Right? Like it's that there's a rub in there that girls think things are creepy if you
when they're not into them.
When they're not into them. Yeah. But if they're into them, it's all of a sudden not creepy.
Yep, 100%.
So it's just like, no, it's not fucking creepy. This is how you do it. You ask somebody, I'd like to get to know you. The first thing I saw you. I'd like to get to know you. Would you like to go out? And it's just, ew, no.
They got the
fuck
ick.
off. The ick. Fuck you and the ick. Well, that was in that episode of, but I do understand what that means. Like something just turns you off and you can never unsee it or unthink it.
I get it.
And every time you do, you see it. So
It's the Seinfeld.
I don't remember that episode anyway.
Oh, I just mean every little thing. They always nitpick one little thing about a person and then they can never unsee it pretty much.
Yeah. We're going to wrap it up, guys. The Kickstarter is live. bit.ly/FroBook2, which I will be promoting until the end of the year, until the Kickstarter is over. I set the date as December 20th. It doesn't matter how long it runs. The book wouldn't be shipping anyway till it's going to ship. So I left it running. I'm not a fan of being like, run it for 20 days and it's like this sprint of urgency to like rush to get people. That's not it. It will get its most amount of action early and then late. And it is what it is, right? And so it's up. And I appreciate your support.
Very cool, man. I'm excited. I'm excited to see the final book.
Yeah, to see when I'm like, oh, I'm disappointed with this nitpicking thing. I'm going to nitpick because there's always something.
Well, you're all about the best of the best. So I think that's fine to nitpick something like this.
Problem is it can't be perfect. And I know it can't be perfect. You know, we're working with the Swiss binding. That was our goal. What I decided on. I talked about that in the past. And the hope is that I win off of that.
Yeah.
Because you can never have a 2-page spread book that is perfect. You just can't.
You always lose something in the gut.
Hopefully it's close. Hopefully it's beyond close enough and just really, really good to make the point. But we'll see. Anything can happen. Most of it, 98% of the book is going to be perfect. And I'm sure there's going to be a percentage where you're like, I wish this was a little better. But it's a continual learning process. Anything else you want to say, Stephen?
That is it.
Guys, episode RAWtalk 125 in the show notes. You could also click on the link to the Kickstarter, but it's bit.ly/FroBook2. All right. Jared Polin, FronosPhoto.com. See ya.
Bye.